It is good to be before you and share some comments with you this morning. I have a little bit of a perspective from one county's position, and that's Travis County. And when I spoke with Jim and he asked me to come give a couple of comments, I began thinking what it must be like throughout the state and across the state with the various counties trying to deal with the issue of indigent defense. And I began looking at it kind of seriously myself, and for two reasons. One is to see and try to get at the underlying justification, need, cause for such movements. And the other is to how to effectuate or promote, if it is a noteworthy goal, indigent defense. And addressing the first question, I quickly came to the conclusion, I'd always realized that it's just fair, right, to have competent counsel appointed to people who are in jail and charged with crimes. We know that. We have an intuitive feel for that. But it's not that it's just fair. It is constitutional. It's in the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, as illustrated from Gideon v. Wainwright in the early 60s to Rothgary from this past term of the Supreme Court. Further, it's not simply a matter of fairness. What it comes down to, I think we would all agree, that if we could, as a society, either train a strain of human beings, breed a strain of human beings who could divine justice, we'd get rid of the justice system, wouldn't we? I mean, if we had somebody who really could divine it, we would just scrap it. But the problem is we can't. So the whole system really exists to protect the rights of the innocent when it comes down to it. And I think there have been two phenomena which, the confluence of which has basically led to where we are today, where this task force is, and why so much emphasis is on indigent defense. Those two phenomena are, number one, the sheer cost of pretrial incarceration has been an incredible burden on, I know for sure, Travis County, and I would expect some of the other counties around the state. The sheer cost of it is simply overwhelming. The other phenomena, which Travis County has unfortunately participated in and contributed to, is a phenomena of discovering that there have actually been innocent people who have been convicted, who have gone to prison, and who have served time in prison, and indeed who are still serving time right now. That phenomena of realizing that and having to face up to that, prosecutors having to face up to the fact that, you know what, some innocent people have been convicted. What can we do about it? How do we get the courts to address that issue? The confluence of those phenomena, I believe, is what is leading to the emphasis on indigent defense that I see right before me right now. Because as I said earlier, it's not just to make us feel good and fair. It's to protect the rights of the innocent. How do we know that the rights of the innocent are sometimes trampled? Well, just look at the statistics. Look at the people who have been released from prison in Texas because they're innocent. Look at the people who've been released from prison in Travis County because they're innocent. And for those reasons, I applaud you in coming here today. I think that what you're doing is very important. I think it's extremely significant and will be beneficial to your counties to get together, come up with plans for indigent defense, plans that work, and stick to them. What we've done in Travis County 4 years ago, we were faced with an incredible population in pretrial incarcerated individuals. We instituted two phenomena. The first one was called the Rocket Docket. And Rocket Docket was for property crimes. And the whole idea was, and again, we were not motivated by altruistic motives. That was not where we were coming from. Where we were really coming from was a pocketbook. That's what got us there. That and the hard reality of innocent people having been convicted. And what we did is set up a system whereby offense reports were immediately faxed to attorneys. Judges agreed that they would appoint lawyers really fast, within a day or the next day on felony cases. Prosecutors agreed that we would get offense reports to defense attorneys within 5 days. That worked so well in nonviolent crimes that we used that. We spread it over into another docket, and this one we called Missile Docket. And Missile Docket was made up of some violent crimes, and not the most violent, but some violent crimes. And we began to experiment with that, and lo and behold, we figured out that we could do that. If we put the resources into it, we could protect the rights of victims, the rights of victims to be notified of crime, yet we could also facilitate the pairing and effective representation of counsel. Because the truth of the matter is I've been a lawyer for 22 years, I've been a prosecutor for 22 years. I had much rather go up against a competent and experienced lawyer than one who really does not know what they're doing. It just makes everything more, everything flow better and everything more possible. Having said that, I think that is my pitch to you to keep doing what you're doing, keep interested in coming to events like this, and support the notion of indigent defense across the state. And with that, I'll turn it over to Jim.
Good morning. I'm Jim Allison, the General Counsel of the County Judges and Commissioners Association. And I've held that position for 25 years. And GK, listening to Carl go back through all the changes and different hats that he's worn, and you left off the Punishment Commission, Carl, when we worked on the revision of the penal code, and talk about Jim and these other folks and the changes they've made. I decided I must not have been very ambitious. I've been in one job for 25 years, but fortunately, as some of my bosses are here know, it's the only job I want and the one that I enjoy more than any other I can think of. Again, I want to commend you for being here today. And the task force on indigent defense, particularly its staff as well as the task force, I think are to be commended for conducting this program. When we started out a few years ago with the Jim and Jim show, as we went around the state explaining what this new SB 7 was and how we were going to go from no statewide system of indigent criminal defense in Texas to the most structured and the most developed and organized system in the country. We had a lot of trepidations about whether any of us would still be here at this point, right, Jim? But we are, and it's mostly due to the work of people like you and the fact that you show the interest to come here and to share the knowledge that you've gained working in your local jurisdiction and the questions that you've found that apply to our system and how we can make it more efficient and more effective. Most of you know that I work now mostly on the funding side. As we have seen, as we have implemented this system, tremendous cost increases. It actually does take money to do an effective system. And we've worked on trying to get the state to meet its responsibility in that area. With the help of Senator Ellis and other legislators, we've had some success in that area. And we've actually seen the state improve its percentage of support of indigent criminal defense from 0 to what it is today. But I'm going to talk more this afternoon when we get to the hot points about what I see on the horizon that may be a gathering storm, a confluence, if you will, of continuing increased need for indigent criminal defense funding from both the state and the local level, and an unfortunate trend at the legislature to try to impose limitations upon the ability of county government to fund needs at the local level. So I look forward to participating with you today, and I congratulate you on being here and the good work that you're doing. And again, congratulations to the task force on a continued job well done.